Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ciearra. I am the thrifted planter and I garden in Ohio Zone 5B. Today I'm going to share with you an update on my cannas and elephant ear bulbs tubers. So I planted them back late February, early March, and they have been growing really well. The cannas were the first things to sprout. Elephant ears a long while after. Elephant ears can take months to actually break the surface. A lot of times we feel like our bulbs aren't doing well, or that like they've rotted, when in fact they are putting out roots below the soil and have yet to break any growth above the surface. So I completely understand if you feel like, what's wrong with my elephant ears? I got you. I'll show you what I do to check on my elephant ears. So let's go ahead and get started. So here are my Canna Lilies. This is just one portion of them, and as you can see, they are stunning. They are so pretty, and I cannot wait to get them outside this year. It's May right now, and we are experiencing 30s to 40 degree temperatures. That's Fahrenheit. And Bowser, don't put your nose on the gnat trap. It's gonna get stuck. It's gonna get stuck. Okay, go play or something. Don't stare. Anyway, so they are beautiful. Someone recently commented and gave me the name of these cannas, and I will put it on the screen. That way, if you are searching and you want these guys, I got them free from Facebook with no identification. So I had no way of knowing what they were, because there are a lot of plants kind of look similar. So I do have a sort of an ID on it. These guys got probably, I would say they were well over 8 feet tall last summer. So they get really tall. I had them in pots and they were gorgeous. Beautiful. So I have a couple more cannas this way. This is my seed starting setup. These are plants that I recently got, dahlias that were recently potted up. But I have more cannas over here. They are beautiful, stunning, already getting so tall. And then I have some more cannas right here. Beautiful. So the way that I take care of these cannas, they're in okay lighting, but I water them when the first few inches of soil dry out. They are sitting on trays so that the water can drain. I don't fully saturate them just because they're okay. They're not getting full sun in here, and so they're not going to be using up a ton of the moisture in the soil. So generally halfway down in the pot is still moist, so I just kind of moisten the top of the soil, and it's been working fine for me. They're doing well. They should be going outside very soon this month. So once that time period comes, they'll get watered fully with the hose, and they'll be in full sun after transitioning. So down here are my elephant ears. These are my larger bulbs, and I don't have a ton of elephant ears this year. I decided to pull back on growing them because they are big time spreaders of spider mites. Spider mites are so bad when it comes to elephant ears. It's never fails. My elephant ears outside always have spider mites, and then spider mites blow around in the wind currents outside and they spread to other plants. So I am cutting back on my elephant ears this year because I don't want to be constantly spending my time treating spider mites. So I'm just going to do a few, and we're just going to love what we have, and that's just how it's going to be. I usually do probably over 20 different pots of elephant ears, but this year it's just gonna have to be minimal. Like, this is it. I have a couple of smaller pots. Let me see if I can find them. So I have this guy here, which is an elephant ear, gorgeous. I have this guy here, and then this one right here is an alocasia. So like my colocaceas, like this and this elephant ear here, those are the types that I typically grow for outdoor purposes. Then I have my other elephant ear plants, like, which is an alocasia, this here, which will also go outside, but this is more, in my opinion, kept as a house plant for me. So this guy, he's gonna spend his first summer outside this year, and then he will come back in potted like he is now in the fall. Whereas something like this type of elephant ear, this colocasia, I will unpot this or dig up the bulb and then store it over winter in a dormant state. So that's just how I treat them. You guys can do whatever works for you. They don't survive in my zone at with our freezing temps. So that's how I do it. You could also just toss your bulbs or leave them in the ground. You know, if you don't want to deal with digging them up, you'd have to buy new ones next year. But I just go ahead and dig mine up, store them. It's pretty easy for me to do that. So you'll notice in this elephant ear pot that there's a little bit of mold on the soil, and that's just because the soil is just so moist. You may see that in your pots, you may not. This mold is not harmful to the plant in any way. If you have allergies, you may want to get a fan to put in the area with your elephant ears just to help that soil dry out a little bit faster. I do have a fan in this room, but it's not on these pots in particular. And I don't have a problem with this mold on the soil. If it's causing you issues, you can just kind of dig around and like toss the soil, which will cover up the mold. So if you are one of the people who is worried about their elephant ear, they've had it in a pot or in the ground for a while and you have not seen any growth, I would at least wait, you know, a month or so before doing this. You don't have to, but this is what I do because I know that they take a while. So if I ever get anxious and need to know what's going on, I just go ahead, pull that soil away until I get to that bulb. And then I use my finger to press and make sure that the bulb is still firm. And then I also check for growth. So I see that there is a little bit of growth right here. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this bulb. I know that it's up. It's just gonna take a little bit longer for this plant to push out growth above the soil, but I bet you it's got some roots going on down here in the pot. So one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about before I in this video is transitioning. Some of you may already be doing this if your zone is warm and it's okay to put your plants outside. For me, I'm not quite there yet. Can you stop? Sit down. Sit, sit, sit. Thank you. So for me, it's not quite time to move anything outside. We are still pretty cold. So the way to transition your plants, this is what I do for all of my full sun plants to transition them from in the house to outside the house. So to do that, you want to take the plants out the first day for 1 hour in full sun or whatever lighting condition they're supposed to be in. Next day, 2 hours. Day after that, 3 hours. Do that until your plants reach an 8-hour day outside in the sun that they are supposed to be in. If you have plants in shade, then you can still do this process. I would probably do it for half the days, you know, do 4 days or so, because they're going to be put in the shade anyways, and you won't have as intense of light, and you'll have less risk of burning the foliage on your plants. I made the mistake the first gardening summer here in this house, and I moved my bird of paradise outside straight into the sun because, you know, it's a full sun plant, and I completely fried the leaves. I still have some foliage on there that still looks a little bit fried because I didn't want to cut it off. So in order to avoid those fried leaves, deep fried leaves, make sure you transition your plant. So if you miss any days during the transition process, I would just go back maybe 1 to 2 days. If that puts you back at the beginning, then, you know, you're better safe than sorry, because the last thing you want are fried leaves on your plant. Plants struggle anyways, changing environment. So coming out of your house to the outside is going to be stressful. So give them time to adjust to their new environment and atmosphere. Water them as usual, fertilize them, and just keep up with regular maintenance. And if they do struggle, they will bounce back. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know how your elephant ears and your canna bulbs are doing. And I'll see you guys in the next video.